Yes, a couple words about the Parsha. The laws of sacrifice that are outlined in this Parsha and then actually throughout the book of Vayikra are probably the hardest for us to relate to. It's been over 19 centuries since the sacrificial system came to an end, but rabbis down through the ages have strived to understand the inner significance of the sacrifice and what it says about the relationship between God and humanity. For example, the comment by the first Lubavitcher Rebbe. He noticed an anomaly at the very beginning of this week's Sidra. In plain English it says, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when one of you offers a sacrifice to the Lord, the sacrifice must be taken from the cattle, sheep, or goats." However, the Hebrew reads, "Adam ki yakriv mikem," literally, when one offers a sacrifice of you. So says the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, the essence of sacrifice is that we offer ourselves. We bring to God our energies, our thoughts, our emotions, our spirit. The actual animal offered on the altar is only an external manifestation. The real act of sacrifice is mikem. It's something that comes of you. In other words, we give to God something of ourselves. So let's pursue this a little further. In sacrifice, what exactly do we give to God? The Lubavitcher Rebbe spoke about two souls, the animal soul and the godly soul. On the one hand, we human beings are very physical. We're part of nature. We have physical needs for food, drink, shelter, and so on. We're born, and we live, and we die. On the other hand, we're much more than mere animals. We think, we speak, we communicate, we reach out to others. We're the one species on Earth that can ask the question, why? We formulate ideas and we're moved by ideals. We're not governed by biology alone. Physically, we may be next to nothing, but spiritually our actions echo in eternity. In short, we have a godly soul. So hopefully now, the true nature of sacrifice should be more clear. What we offer to God isn't just the animal, but also the animal soul within us. In fact, the verse uses three different words for the different animals to be sacrificed. Behema, animal, bakar, candle, and son, flock. Each of these representing one aspect of our human personality. Behema is animal instinct. However, the word doesn't imply the instincts of a predator. Rather, it refers to something much more tame. Most animals spend most of their time searching for food. Their lives are bound by the struggle to survive. And therefore, to sacrifice the animal within us is to be moved by something more than mere survival. The word bakar, cattle in Hebrew, reminds us of the word boker, or dawn, literally to break through, when the first rays of sunlight dissipate the darkness of the night. Stampeding cattle break through barriers. Without strong fences, cattle have no concept of boundaries. And therefore, to sacrifice the bakar within us is to learn to recognize and respect boundaries between the pure and the impure, between what's permitted and what's forbidden. Barriers that get erected in the spirit can actually be stronger than concrete walls. Finally, tsong, the word for flocks, represents the herd instinct, the powerful drive we all have to do something just because others are doing it. However, the great figures of Judaism were all distinguished by their ability to stand apart from the herd, to challenge the idols of their age, and to refuse to participate in the conventions of the moment. Today, these ancient ideas have suddenly become very relevant. The decoding of the human genome and scientific materialism have led to the conclusion that human beings are nothing more or less than animals. According to this line of reasoning, we share 98% of our DNA with chimpanzees and gorillas. We're the result of a random series of genetic mutations more adapted to survival than other species. In other words, the animal soul is all that there is. However, the ancient act of sacrifice completely refutes this idea. We humans can rise above mere survival. We're capable of honoring boundaries. We can step outside of our environment. We can transcend those aspects of our being which are behema, bakar, and son. Animals are incapable of transforming themselves, but we humans can. Music, poetry, love, wonder. These things have zero survival value, but they do speak to our deepest sense of humanity. They tell us that we're far more than mere animals, far more than a random assortment of genes and chromosomes. By making sacrifices, by bringing the animal within closer to God, by suffusing the material with the spiritual, we become truly human, no longer the slave of nature, but rather its master, no longer a mere animal, but rather a servant of the living God. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.